This is such a fucking baller move. Okay. When the blooms happen during the spring, if you go, I wanted to get you all the flowers in the field, so I brought you to a flower field. Are you kidding me?
That's so... You should be a guy.
Dude. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Femme Tell All podcast. My name is Madison Bellissimo.
And I'm Ruth Devereaux.
And we're so happy you're here.
We're so happy you're here.
Yeah, we changed it up. And everyone's like, please never fucking change it up.
Just like, stop.
Like, this is getting insufferable. What's not insufferable, great transition, is gifts. And not gifts like GIFs. Gifts.
Thank you for
like presents.
clarifying that.
Yes. Like actual tangible items that we receive. And what we're talking about is what women specifically want as gifts.
But might not tell you about.
Because, listen, we're getting you ready for the holidays. You know, we're a little out.
I can't believe we're that close,
We're
by
getting
the way.
close, though. We're
It's
approaching
crazy.
fall, and I want y'all to be ready. You know, I can't have this excuse like
Also, it
December.
doesn't have to be the holidays. Surprise your person with something every once in a while.
This is going to sound like, I was going to say, birthdays, and my birthday's coming up. Like, it's going to sound
She's
like.
really prepping people
I'm
around
not.
her.
I really am not. It seems like it, though. It seems like we chose this topic.
No, we
but
actually didn't choose this topic.
We didn't.
We had a watcher on YouTube give us a watcher suggest this for us, and we thought it was a great topic. And we always encourage people to tell us what they want to hear us talk about. And they said that they want to talk about gifts that maybe people give that are comical or like unwanted, and what we're actually being told by media versus what women might actually want to be gifted and from their partner. So
from their partner specifically.
that's what we're going to talk about today.
Okay. Well, let's start. Maybe we start with like, what's your favorite gift you've ever received
Ooh.
from a partner?
Yeah. I would say one of the best things that was ever done for me, like as a gift giving wise, was when it was my 31st birthday. And my partner that I was with at the time, I went to go get my nails done, and I came home, and there was a note on the door that started a scavenger hunt. And there was multiple different clues throughout the house, and each clue that I found was another gift. And then the ending gift was a very nice pair of shoes that I never would have bought for myself. But it's like I honestly don't even really remember all of the other gifts. I remember so much of the thought that went into
effort.
it, and it was just such a great experience. Yeah.
Totally.
What about you?
I don't know, honestly. I'm trying to think. I was trying to rack my brain. I think I like asked it, and I was like, I hope she doesn't make me answer this. I think anything that's been super, super thoughtful more wins me over than like actual expensive or, you know. I remember this is not my necessarily favorite gift that I received, but I thought it was like really creative and sweet and very Maddie centric. Was one of my exes. I wanted a heated blanket for the longest time, but which is such a weird thing. But I'm so cold all the time that I was like, I need an electric blanket. And him and my mom were like, no, it's gonna catch fire. You're not gonna have like. They were so weird about it. They were like, don't get an electric blanket. And I was like, y'all are haters. Like, let me get a blanket. I'm not gonna fall asleep with it on.
Let me live my life.
You know, I was like, there's timers nowadays. I was like, we're good. And they both were like, no, you shouldn't have, like, it's not good for your health and all this stuff. And I was just like, Jesus Christ.
That's true.
There's theories on it. So I was just like, whatever. Let me, like, this is a gift. I want this, right? And so this is a two-parter. So I had told this partner this. He was like, you shouldn't. And then for Christmas, he had gotten this, like, specific alpaca blanket for me, which it's extremely like environmentally friendly because alpacas, it's no harm. It's just like literally them shedding. And it actually is one of the warmest furs. So it actually keeps you extremely warm more than most.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. So it was like, and it was like sustainable and it was like all this stuff. So he like got me.
What a sweet gift.
I know. Yeah. And I was like, that was really thoughtful. And he like did put in the time and effort to research because he was like, she wants to be warm. How can I make her warm? But he also knows that I'm like, against animal cruelty or any kind of weird shit like
Yeah.
that. And also would be, I wanted something environmentally friendly. So he hit it all there. And I
that's so
appreciated that.
cute.
And then I will say on the opposite side, this is not a significant other, but I had told Noah this story once. And then she, a year later, got me an electric blanket.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
She was like, you've never had one. And I was like, my
is
dream
so
was fulfilled.
sweet. Yeah.
I know, but I'm like, that's such a small thing. That's like, so the listener, viewer, that watcher that had brought this up to us.
technical
Yeah,
term.
right. The viewer that had brought this up to us had brought up jewelry,
Yeah.
for example.
Yeah.
And like, I've only received I think I've received one necklace from a partner before, and it was like a family heirloom.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and he was like, hey, like his grandma had passed away, and he was like, I think you would, like, it would be nice if you had this.
Yeah.
And when we broke up, I gave it back to him because I was like,
Oh, yeah,
I
of
was like, I'm
course.
not going to keep this.
Yeah.
This is in your family, you know? So yeah, the only jewelry that I had received from a significant other was an heirloom, and it was very sweet, and it was one of those like, oh, my grandma passed away. She would probably wanted you to have this, even though I didn't have a close relationship with this grandma.
Yeah.
But it obviously meant a lot to him, and that meant a lot to me. It was more the
thought
the
behind it.
thought than the
Yeah.
actual jewelry.
Yeah.
But I don't think I've ever received any other jewelry from a significant other.
Yeah.
Ever.
Trying to think if I have. I know that I've gotten a couple of necklaces.
Mm-hmm.
I
your
got
promise
this
ring.
ring, yeah.
Mhm.
And then, but not a lot.
Yeah. And I would say it's not even something like I don't even think about wanting jewelry from a significant other.
I mean, I wouldn't mind it.
Listen, it's so funny because my mom gets jewelry all the time from my dad. He like makes her stuff and buys her jewelry all the time. And like my whole childhood, I grew up seeing him giving her jewelry.
Yeah.
But casually. It was like, you know, it wasn't just Christmases, birthdays. You know, like he would give her.
'Cause he's the perfect man.
No. He's wonderful. But yeah, he's very thoughtful in that
Yeah.
way. And I think if I asked my mom, she wouldn't say that that's like her favorite gift.
Yeah,
you know,
that's
like I
true.
don't think she would
Yeah.
say my favorite gift that my dad gave my mom that like I would be over the moon to receive is he named a star after her. Yeah. And he like got a whole like they can do a whole framed thing showing where it is and the, like where it is in the sky, what it's called. And I think that was one of the like most romantic, sweet things in sentiment. And she's an astrology girly. So like she loves the stars and the moon and she's always like tracking that shit. So I think that was really special to her. And I think that's romantic as hell.
romantic.
I would die if someone bought me a star.
Yeah. Wait, what's the worst gift you've ever gotten? That was visceral. That is on the tip of your tongue.
Glad you asked. Well, no, it's funny because I actually would say my favorite gifts include from family, friends, like anyone that gets me gifts. I usually am like, I like an experience. Like I like doing things with my people like that. I would way prefer more than like a tangible gift. I want to go to a concert with you or I want to go to dinner with you. I want to go, like I want to do those things. So that's one thing that I've really lucked out on, the people in my life being well receptive to that and like doing that. And I grew accustomed to that, you know, and now I think people know me well enough that that's what they typically would get me. But on the other side of that coin is I had an ex that multiple times was like, I'm going to take you here for your birthday or I'm going to do this for you. And we never did it.
Oh.
Yeah. And I was like, that's your responsibility.
Yeah,
like you're
especially
supposed
if
to
you're saying it.
Yeah, like I was technically gifted a cooking class, which would be so fun. I would love to do that with
totally.
like a date night cook class.
Yeah.
Like it was one of the most perfect gifts. I was like, I would love that. And he never took me.
Wow.
And yeah, like we never got around to it. And it's like, it's not my responsibility to like remind you and book it. Like, and so that's where like, theoretically an amazing gift, but then he never did it. So then it was like, you didn't get me anything. Really,
Right.
you know?
Absolutely.
So, and it's like almost more disappointing because I was excited about that and then never got to do it. So, and still to this day, I've never taken a cooking class.
Wow.
So Yeah, things like that. Like that would be my worst gift that I ever received. It was like
Yeah.
an empty promise. What about you?
I guess I would say when I was when I was in high school, I was dating a guy, and for Christmas, he bought me a car. But and this is gonna sound like that shouldn't be the worst gift, but I already had a car. I had a loan on it.
Yeah.
He hadn't talked to my mom about it at all. So then I now had a secondary car that I was unaware that I was getting. My mom had to take over my car, and then I like took over this car, and it was just like it was I guess a sweet gesture, because I think he also wanted the car so he could work on it, because at the time Fast and the Furious was really big. It was like then he put a bunch of stuff on the car. So it was
I mean, I knew this story, but I didn't know all of that.
Yeah.
Okay, continue.
Yeah, and so I think what we're both saying is backtracking is the thought process that goes behind giving or not giving, or like saying you're going to do something and not doing it, that matters the most to women.
Yeah.
And so even getting a piece of jewelry that might not be a big deal for you normally, if it's a family heirloom connected to history and means something to somebody, that matters.
Yeah.
Like even for my birthday this year, I came home super late from a shoot, and Neil had decorated our entire bedroom in balloons, and like he went to multiple different stores to like get the things that he needed, and like blew them up by hand. And that to me meant so much.
Yeah.
Because I knew the thought that went into it. I knew the time that went into it. I knew like how much he put forth just so I would feel good about walking in at the end of the day. And that to me means more than a car. Like that really probably was no thought really into it as versus like,
and a grand gesture, an expensive one at
yeah,
that.
exactly.
And also I think there's a part of it, like to me, what's like the alarm bells that are going off for me for the car is like when you talk about the Fast and Furious thing, it was like a gift for him too. Like he wanted to like
he wanted to play with it.
And yeah, it's kind of like when on dates, men, please listen to me. There's a subgenre of men, and I think all men do this, or most men. I'm generalizing, I'm sorry, but that will take you on dates that they're good at. They'll take you to impress you. Like if they're a tennis player or they like kill mini golf or something like that. And they'll take you somewhere to show off. And it's not at all something you would actually do. Like a driving range, you know, and they're like, yeah, it's going to be fun. And it's like something that they excel at and they feel comfortable in it. Yes. And I'm like, there's a time and place for that.
Yeah,
like, if we talk about it and you go like, oh, yeah, I'm really into golf. And you're like, hey, if you ever would want to go. And I go, actually, I would love to.
Totally.
Take me.
Makes sense.
I would love to.
Yeah.
Totally different story.
Yeah.
But when you're like, you know, it would be really fun if we went to a driving range. And you're like, oh, I've never golfed before. And you're like, it's okay, I'll teach you.
Yeah.
And then the whole time you're just fucking like, don't do this, please, for the love of God. So yeah, like those kind of selfish gifts where it feels like, and I think jewelry can sometimes be like that too, where it's like, I it's not even her taste, but I got her something that's shiny and expensive.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Right?
I think that that's such a huge factor too. Like if somebody that you're dating gives you something that you have no connection with, that you wouldn't like, and it's so against your taste, and you've been with them for a while, I like instantly like, do you know me at all?
It's really sad.
Yeah,
it's really sad. And I feel like the most well-received gifts that I've given people are some of the cheapest, but the most specific.
Absolutely.
Where it was like something that they mentioned, or you know, that like, you know, on the off chance I remembered, and like, you know,
absolutely,
or wrote down in my notes. Notes app is your friend. It is your friend.
Use it.
Yeah, and it's so I think about it, but like on the opposite side, I've seen where my dad got my mom. It's called a trillion, like the cut of the diamond. It's like an upside down triangle. It's really cool. Just a beautiful necklace, simple gold trillion diamond. And I remember he got it for her, and he was like, "It's because I'll love you for a trillion years," and like wrote this whole card for her. I know. I'm talking to him. I'm like my dad's wingman. Like I swear to God. But I'm like, I remember
he needs to do a lesson.
Like,
can he do
folks,
a TED Talk?
You gotta do this. He's like, if you're not from Brooklyn, you fucking fuck up. So go to Brooklyn, learn some things, rub some dirt in it. No, my dad's not like that. But yeah, it's one of those things that I remembered that gift because it was such a sweet and it was a sentiment.
To it,
yeah, and it's like I don't think my mom was expecting a gold necklace or wanting it or being like, Tom, I need this. but she wears it all the time still to this day. It's like he got it for her like 15 years ago.
Wow.
So I think about that a lot.
And the impact it even made on you for 15 years later, you remember that story.
Yeah, and I remember last year my sister's boyfriend made her a book of like them. Like he got it designed and made, and he's like, he illustrates and he does so many, he's very creative like she is. And they go overboard with presents. My sister is the queen of overboard. She'll spend way too much money on you and you're just like, oh my God, this is way too generous. And they both do it for each other. But the thing that got her, she was sobbing at this book, reading it. And it was like their love story and things that they love together. And it was so sentimental. And I'm like, she liked that more than the gold hoops he got her. You know, I'm like, even though that's beautiful and she wanted those, and thankfully he listed that she wanted those. And like he got her the pair she wanted, right? But I think the thing that he did on his own, which she would have never been like, hey, write a book for me. You know?
Well, and I think that's it too. I think that so often women, we don't want to ask for it. I don't want to like tell you exactly what I need. Like, here's the gold hoop earrings that I need. Buy me these exact SKU. Like, because then it's like, okay, I basically picked it out for myself. You just paid for it. There was no time or effort or anything put towards it. I don't want to have to ask for the things that I need, even though I know we have to communicate to our partners. Like, I don't want to specifically lay out for you how to take care of me.
No.
I want you to learn me and to know me.
Yeah, to anticipate my wants.
Like, and I think some of the best gifts are also the things that you would never buy for yourself. I remember one year for my mom's birthday, I bought her tickets to go to see a symphony. And my mom would never go to a concert or buy tickets. And I remember talking to her after, and like it was a double gift for me because she was so happy. She loved it so much. And it's just something she would never buy for herself. That made me feel good giving it to her, and she never had to ask for that because she wouldn't even know to ask for that. I just knew that she would like that.
And it's the getting to know your mom, and you obviously know her, but like hearing things. Right? We've been there since day one. But
True
like,
day one.
right. She's a day one, but having that like awareness of what your mom likes and appreciates, because I think sometimes we do it. Like I've gotten gifts before or gestures that someone has done for me that I'm like, oh, I don't even think I would have been able to tell you I wanted this. Like
the perfume
really
set.
great job. Yeah, dude. Oh, we brought that up. Andrew, what a little fucking sweetie. And it was just his birthday.
Happy birthday.
This is going to come out much later than his birthday, but it was just his birthday. Happy birthday, Andrew. We love you. What a lovely thing. I had said to him off the cuff, like, as friends, I was like, oh, God, I want to find a scent. I'm in between perfumes right now. It's so fucking difficult, blah, blah, blah. Will you go? I think I said, like, if you ever want to go, we can go, like, sample perfumes. And he was like, absolutely. And then my birthday came around last year, and he got me a whole set of like tester perfumes of all these really nice perfumes. Like, and it was so nice.
So thoughtful.
And
time consuming.
Yes.
I think like we talked about this before too, like time is like the most limited commodity that we have. And when you choose to give that to somebody, whether it's through thought or actual like action that you have to take that takes time, like that adds so much more to like whatever you're giving to them. Even if that's making a card and you like hand draw it and you send this sweet message, like that's something somebody can hold dear to their heart because they know how individual it was for them.
Yeah. No, and I think like you even mentioned, that was one of the things that you pointed out when you talked about what Neil just did for your birthday is you knew he had to go to multiple spots to make this vision in your, apartment look how it was. And knowing that he went out of his way to do that, because some people would maybe just be like, oh, this will work.
Exactly.
Or like, whatever, I'll just grab
it's too much
these
work.
balloons.
Like,
oh, if I have to go to 4 places, then I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like sometimes going that extra mile means so much.
Yeah.
Like it is invaluable,
Absolutely.
So that's where I agree with this listener when they were like, I think every woman I've dated didn't even like jewelry.
Yeah.
I'm like, low key, you might be right because I'm like, I have never been like, oh, I really want
jewelry,
my partner to get me jewelry, and I've never even thought like, he never got me jewelry. Like, and I think it would almost like a couple. Now that I'm thinking back of certain, I'm like, if they would have gotten me something, it would have felt like, why? You know, like I think I would have been like, what does this mean? What is this?
Yeah.
But I think in media, like he pointed out, that I think it's a man.
The flowers chocolate jewelry.
Yes,
like that's
exactly.
like the kind of like the standard trifecta of like
Yes.
what you're supposed to give to women.
Which some women don't like flowers.
Yeah.
Ruth and I like flowers.
Remember that.
We like flowers. But no, it's true. Like I think and I would say most people aren't offended by flowers.
No, they're not. I think honestly, I like flowers too when it is like
Spontaneous.
Yeah, I don't like if it's just done like
Sorry, my face is like reading all over my face. It's true
Yeah.
though. That's the more like special time is when
Yeah.
it's just like a Tuesday.
Yeah.
And, it's not even a gift. It's just a gesture.
Yeah, exactly. Like you saw it and you're like, oh, that would make her happy. I'm just
It'll
gonna
brighten
do
up
this.
her day.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's you would think it's pretty, and again, because that's such an inexpensive thing to me.
No, it
like
is, yeah.
you can go crazy and like hire a florist
Sure.
but I'm like, how many TikTok tutorials have we seen in Instagram of men just getting flowers at Trader Joe's and now
Yeah.
arranging them themselves?
Yeah.
Like these men, these boyfriends,
But
husbands.
I honestly don't know if they even know. Like I think like even with Neil when we first were dating, I had to really tell him like this is really important to me. Like
Yeah.
I really need this. Like this
Yeah.
makes me feel special.
Totally.
And like he's now corrected and done
Yeah.
more. But like I think that as hard as it is for us sometimes to have to ask for what we want because it feels somewhat diminishing. I think if you have a partner that really does want to give you what you want, you should only have to say it a couple of times before that train starts running, and like that should then now be
Yes.
the automatic.
Yeah. If they've actually by name said like I would really enjoy this.
Yeah.
More than once.
Yeah.
You need to
Do it.
do it.
Do
yeah.
it.
And if you can't, talk to them about it.
But even if you can't afford flowers, like I would also think that
picking flowers
picking
from-
flowers, yeah, because that's the time and the effort, right? Like, say, imagine you walked around your neighborhood and grabbed like multiple different like wild flowers, and you made like a mini bouquet and said like I can't afford this, but like I want to give you what you deserve. Yeah.
Or like, you know what would be so romantic?
Tell me.
Neil. No, I'm sorry. He doesn't need my advice. He really doesn't. But I'm saying theoretically a woman like Ruth who loves flowers, who said this to their partner, right? This is such a fucking baller move. Okay. When the blooms happen during the spring, if you go like, I wanted to get you all the flowers in the field, so I brought you to a fucking flower field. Are you kidding me?
That's so. You should be a guy.
Dude. But in the way of like, come on, are you kidding me?
That's
If you were
so
like, hey, I have a
cute.
surprise for you. I wanted to get you something, and you're like, oh, but I have to take you for a drive. Take him for a drive. Get to the poppy field, all of the poppies, and you went, I wanted to get you flowers. Pause for silence. I know that's cheesy as fuck.
I don't think it's
I'm
cheesy.
telling you-
I love cheesy.
I'm
Please
telling
give
you,
me
you will
cheesy.
get laid.
Yes, maybe in the field.
And then arrested because poppies are protected
But
under
it'll be
California law.
worth it.
No, but it's true. Like, can you imagine that? And that's high key free potentially.
Yeah.
Besides the driving,
Sure.
sometimes you have to pay to get into those flower parks, but it's like $20 a car or something like that.
That's awesome.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
Yes.
Oh God.
But yeah, I guess it's being inventive too. Like, because I think so many times, like if somebody's struggling to give a gift to somebody, and like let's be fair here, like it's not always easy to know exactly
No.
what somebody might want. I think that the basis of what you have to start with is who are they? What do they like? What would make them feel cared for?
Yeah.
How can I add the extra layer of thought to
Yeah.
it that makes it very clear that I put in the effort for specifically them
Yeah.
and it's individualized to them? I think even if you were to give a woman jewelry that doesn't necessarily want jewelry, but like
Yeah.
with your mom, like
Yeah.
if you had this message of why you connected with
Yeah.
it wasn't just a piece of jewelry I picked up. It was specifically because this is your birthstone
Yes,
and like
or-
I like
yes.
whatever that
Yeah.
is, and like I'm so happy. Whatever
Yeah.
whatever that reasoning is, if you have a message and a story and a thought behind it, no matter what the gift is, it's gonna land.
It's gonna land.
It's gonna land.
It's gonna land. It's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I would say, because a lot of the time I'm like, I have little excuses for partners that are like, I don't know what to give them. And I'm
Yeah.
like, you're with them every day.
Yeah.
What do they say?
Yeah.
What do they talk about?
Yeah.
What is the last art exhibit they brought up or the
Yeah.
last music? Like, I'm like, even someone who just listens to music
Yeah.
and you go, okay, I know that they listen to Luke Combs all the time.
Sure.
I'm going to take them to a Luke Combs concert. Like something like that, right?
I would
Insert
love
here.
to. Let's go.
Like I didn't know you liked Luke Combs. We brought it up the other day, and you were like, I'm singing his lyrics. I'm like, oh shit, I could bring you to a if I bought you tickets for that, I don't think you'd be like, why'd you get?
No.
You'd be like, I love these songs.
Yeah.
Something like that. But I go back to that where I have very little excuse where I'm like, people say clues about what they want all the time. Whether they're not dropping them purposely, but I think a lot of people will just inherently be like, you know what, I really wanted to try that restaurant.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, I'm going to take them to that restaurant. Like it's not rocket science in my opinion.
Yeah.
However, I will say if you're like, they don't talk about anything, they don't like, if you really are going to die on that hill, I would say take a week, spend as much time with them as you can, doing their daily routine. The thing that they interact with every day. Are they a coffee drinker? Do they like a roast of coffee, but it doesn't, they only fly it in every now and then. They really like this Italian coffee, so they savor it, but they usually use their Folgers or whatever, you know? Like, get the fucking Italian coffee because she likes that. You know, it's like, spend the like,
I love it.
Yeah, go hour by hour. Like, is her phone fucking up? Oh, her AirPods are not working anymore? Get her AirPods. Like, and again, not because it's an expensive thing, but try and make your partner's life easier or more enjoyable. Like, if you can go like how they, you know, go through their day, or say they're getting dressed and they're like really stressing about it, and they're like, oh, I just want more clothes. Or even if they don't say that, but they're like, I have nothing to wear.
Yeah.
Do you hear the message here? Are we reading between the lines? Like,
I will say though, I had somebody give me for Christmas one year, in the card it said like a shopping spree.
Yeah, nice.
And for me personally, even though that's such a nice gesture, like having to go there with somebody and pick things out and seeing them pay for it, I don't feel comfortable.
Sure.
So like that doesn't work for me. That might work really well for somebody else, and somebody else might very much enjoy that. You have to know your audience.
Yeah.
But for somebody like me, I was like, no, I'll just get this thing on sale. I'm done. Like, that's my spree.
Yeah. Yeah, that's hard. I know. And like, you need to know your partner. Yeah. You know, like, or like, you know, some people hate gift cards. Yeah. Like, hate gift cards. And I love gift cards too. I'm like, if it's rightly priced, like, not priced, placed, then I'm like, I'm so down. I'm like, if that's something I'm going to use.
What's the minimum gift card you should give somebody?
I think like a sweet little gesture that like you don't know the person really well, 25. Yeah. I think that's like, that's appropriate. I think a 10, even like a coffee, that kind of is like, lattes are about $10. So it's, you know, coffee, I would say 25. I'm saying baseline is 50 to 100.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think that minimum should be 50.
Yes.
Yeah.
The 25 is for like acquaintances. Yeah. And like, or like friends of friends that you're like, maybe it's not even like a gift. It's more of a like a gesture.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's, I guess we're high rollers. Because I'm like,
we're rich.
Yeah. I'm like, I think most people would be like 50. You know? But it's true. I think
$50 I think is like $20 nowadays.
Yes, it
like
is.
back in the day, like 50 was like, but like I feel like now
$50, yeah.
inflation.
You can just throw, literally $50. You know, it's like you can get them a Starbucks gift card for $50. They'll use it in a week.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think any of those kinds of gestures, like just try to use your senses. You know, like I was with someone recently and they were telling me that their cologne is running out, and they were like, don't buy it for me. And I was like, wow, they know me. Because I was like clocking it right away. I was like, oh, really? Like, which one are you out of? And they were like, don't buy it for me. And I was like, okay, I won't, because you asked.
I'll just wait till I'm there.
Like, you asked so nicely, so I won't buy it for you, but I'll buy something else. You know, but it's those kinds of, like, you just need to be aware, you know? And I think try and make their life as easy or enjoyable as, and I think the little luxuries too go a long way. Yeah. Like you were saying, the things that I wouldn't necessarily buy for myself, your mom wouldn't necessarily think that it's worth it to go to a symphony. Yeah. But that might have been one of her favorite concerts that she ever went to. And it's not like that was like breaking the bank for you to send her to the symphony.
It wasn't, no,
you know?
And but the memory of that is so beautiful. Like I still can hear her voice on the phone from like talking to her afterwards. Yeah.
That's so sweet. Yeah. So that's my 2 cents.
That is what we're telling you. I think we should go to our resident male in house.
Or man, the man that is sitting in the hot seat behind the camera. Because I'm curious.
Hello, welcome to Connor's Corner.
He is legitimately in a corner as well.
Nobody puts baby in a
side
corner.
wall parallel. Connor's parallel wall.
Well, we do want to ask, though.
The woman whisperer.
The woman whisperer, as he's self-proclaimed. We do want to ask you, Connor. Mm-hmm. What is something as a man that you would like receiving as a gift? Where do you think women are maybe falling short on gifts?
Well, just hearing you guys talking, the gals talking about, I think kind of a summary, what I'm hearing, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, is that it seems like there's more experiences that women would, I mean, obviously it's generalization, but
That's
experiences for women, and then men.
I would say
think-
experiences / memories, because like you can have a memory from a gift that you just want it to be impactful.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, you kind of went on that where it's like, it's not just about the gift, it's about the time and effort that was put into it.
Yeah.
Totally.
That makes it better. I think guys, we like stuff. We like fangs.
You guys like things.
Thanks.
We got like
What are they?
Nerf guns, silly
Nerf guns.
putty,
Oh, yeah?
Game Boys. Yeah.
Are you 12?
I'm 12.
And I'm 12 years old.
No, but I think well, like one of the best gifts that I received. Actually, this is more the woman kind of gift is
Yeah, tell us.
I received a book about World War I letters, love letters,
Oh,
with
wow.
a little note signed. That was probably the most memorable one that I got.
It's super
Wow.
romantic.
It's very nice.
Yeah.
How did they give it to you?
On my birthday. Like
Did they say anything with it?
They said it was funny because they actually apologized for like not caring about me enough.
As they handed you this
As they
book?
handed me this book. No. In the note, it was written. It was like I feel like I haven't been, whatever about you. Like
Got
you.
you.
Yeah.
Invested enough.
Wow.
Yeah. Not that I wasn't asking for it. I don't even think it was just like it was just a nice thing. It was
What a
nice.
nice
that is
gesture,
sweet.
truly.
Yeah.
To hear a woman apologize. No, I'm kidding.
And we're cutting off his
And we're
mic.
cutting out the segment. It's done. No,
Connor's
but I
corner's
like.
over.
Yeah, I like. But I think that I don't even think that's a male and female thing.
No, but
I think it's just
I'm curious. I think you're right, though. I think men do maybe tend to enjoy like an actual item more than an experience.
Does it need to be practical, or does it just, it can be
I do
Or
like.
do you-
I think something that I like.
tools, like a truck?
I like it. I like
Yeah.
tools. I like things
That's
that I
cool.
can make things with.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
It is, I am a
What-
12
what about a
You're a tool?
Yeah. No, I'm that too. I am that too. The resident. Yeah.
I'm kidding.
No, we love him. Awesome. Thank you so much. Is there anything else you want to add to this conversation?
Yeah, do you want to tell us where we got it wrong?
I'm sorry I didn't get the fly.
Yeah.
No, I think you guys you nailed it. I think
nailed it.
I think you nailed it. I think it
Wrong.
really is about I think it's about the thought process
Yeah.
that goes into it.
Yeah.
I
And
agree.
the one thing I thought was funny I know that it is a nice gesture, but it's
Yeah.
funny just to be like, hey, here's a cooking class.
Yeah.
Why don't you learn
You'll
to
never
cook?
see.
I know. Hey, babe. Yeah, I got you a cooking class. Yeah, but
I'm
I
sure
will
the
say,
context was
No, the
different.
context was there because I loved cooking,
Yeah.
and it was something that I had expressed that I was like, hey, I love being a home cook, but like I would rather be better. You know, I'd like to get better, and I was like, what would be so romantic if we took a class? Or I want to take a class. I was
Yeah.
like, you can take a class with me, and he was like, absolutely. And then it was like, I got us a cooking class. You just have to pick it. And I was like, great. Tell me when, where, like
Yeah.
and he had given me the company. And then we never scheduled it. And there was time too.
Oh, I'm sure. There's always time.
Yeah. It's funny though. You said the practical thing. This was not a gift. I like just brought soap to a person I was dating. Like this is a semi-recent story where I had brought soap, and because I was like, oh, I saw that you were running out of soap.
Oh, that's so nice.
So I just was like, I brought it because I was showering there. I'm like, I'm using your soap. I'm gonna.
That's so thoughtful.
And this person literally brought it up to me multiple times. It's like the soap is helping me out. Thank you so much. You
Aw.
anticipated my need to like not go to the grocery store and like save me
super
time.
sweet,
And I was like,
yeah.
this was $1. Like this is a bar of soap.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
but I
very
just
sweet.
found that funny that you said practical, and my mind went to that. I'm like, yeah, it really can be that simple sometimes. Well, thank you,
This has
Connor.
been- this has been Connor's Corner.
Connor's Corner.
I love it. We want to thank you so much for submitting this idea. And again, we welcome all topic suggestions, and we will definitely cover them. And just as a reminder, a gift is more about the thought behind it. It's more about understanding and knowing your person and making them feel loved and letting them know that you put your time into it, because that's the commodity none of us can get more of. We thank you so much for joining us on Femme Tell All. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, and like, and we will see you next week on Femme Tell All.
Thanks. Bye.